Hello, hello, my healing hotties. My name is Mara Noir Sinclair, and welcome to Her Healing TV, a podcast where I teach women to rebuild, rebrand, and reclaim themselves after dealing with trauma. This is where discipline meets divinity, where emotional control becomes power, and where transformation is intentional, not chaotic. So, last episode, we talked about God, Gotti Yadi, and how he plays a huge role in our healing journeys. Today, we are going to be discussing how to heal while handling everyday life, which can be a motherfucker. If you know, you know. So, the reality is healing doesn't pause your responsibilities. The kids still need breakfast. The bills still need to be paid. Your body still needs care and to look good. So, how do you process trauma, grow emotionally, and evolve spiritually while still showing up every day? My beautiful angels, let's get into it. So, number one, if you're clocking me, I am going to be just giving you my tips and tricks. I'm going to be numbering them off. So bear with me, write it down. Thank you for being here. So number one, healing isn't a retreat. It's a lifestyle, babe. So we often view healing as a destination or a place to end up when it actually is a journey. Like most people think that you have to disappear to heal, but it's not a requirement to disappear. And a lot of the times we can't disappear because we still have people that depend on us. So we have to change that mindset and look at things a bit differently. The realization of healing is that it requires you to go through real life challenges and changes. It requires you to face your fears and look in the mirror. And there are two different ways that we can look at this. There are some of us who enjoy being alone, and then there are some of us who can't stand it. This is called romanticizing isolation versus real life growth. It's important to remember that we need isolation and human connection to be able to flow through the healing process. So we need both of these. We need to be alone, and then we also need to connect with humans to be able to flow through the healing process. For example, I tend to hermit from time to time. And I get in my mood where I'm spending more time alone. I'm reading more. I'm praying more. I'm enjoying activities by myself. And I'm speaking less. This is important for me because other people can bring energies that's off-putting. And sometimes the opinions of others are just strong and wrong. And sometimes I just don't want that around me. I want to be in solitude. It also gives me time to reflect and explore new ways to grow. So I enjoy being by myself. You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, I need human connections and real life interactions to learn how to navigate people. As I'm evolving and elevating, I have stopped some of the activities that I used to partake in. I don't go out as much. I cut back on drinking, etc. So what works for me is that I dedicate 1 week in a month to hang out with my girlfriends, 1 to 2 weekends a month to do fun activities with my kids, and the other 2 weekends are for me. This way I can enjoy the lessons of human contact and navigation, and I can also enjoy my solitude. So having too much of one and not the other turns into codependency/neglect. So you need a healthy balance of solitude and human connection. That's how I work mine. You find which way works best for you. Oh my God, can you guys hear that rain outside? I love it when it rains. But yeah, you need to be able to navigate both of those because you need them simultaneously to be able to flow through the healing process. As I mentioned in episode 2, there are many ways to engage in self-healing moments. And we often think that these moments have to be big and grand. I've learned that the best self-healing moments are the small ones. And another word for that is micro healing moments. So these are the moments when you're in your car or the shower or right before you're about to go to bed. When you're in the car or the shower and you're by yourself, take these moments to reflect. For sure, take these moments to reflect. Scan your body for how you're feeling. Dial in on any anxiety or uneasy feelings you have and assess them. Like pinpoint why you're feeling this way. Maybe you have a project at work coming up or an event, etc. And once you pinpoint the reason for the feeling or anxiety, find a way to release it. So for me, taking 3 to 4 deep breaths in and out seemed to center and ground me. Um, you know, Another micro healing moment is right before you go to bed. So about 5 minutes before you go to bed, meditate or write in your journal. So with meditation, take about 5 minutes to manifest and co-create with the universe. If you are not familiar with meditation, I think I'm going to do an episode where I just kind of create like a meditation environment for you all. And you can kind of use that. You can also look up on YouTube 5-minute guided meditation, 10-minute guided meditation. If you're just not sure how to do it or what to do while you're meditating, those things help. So just be on the lookout for that. I'll create like a 5-minute meditation podcast video so you guys can just kind of see what that looks like. And so see yourself moving with ease and flow. Journaling is just as it sounds. Take a few minutes to reflect on your day and how you felt. Write down anything that bothered or triggered you so you can reference it later on. This also goes for things that went well for the day. Write down small wins, goals you may have hit. Just reflect on the things that have happened, good or bad, so that you can reflect on it later. You can pick up your journal and look at things later, like later dates, and see like, oh man, on this day this happened, or you can track your progress that way. So just make sure you're reflecting. I recommend journaling. That is one of the ones that I personally recommend for you. Meditation is also good, but journaling I feel like is a really good way to heal, because you can always look back and see what you wrote on what day and how you've progressed. So just remember, you don't need a sabbatical to heal. You just need intention, babe. You do not need to disappear. You do not need 6 months to get your shit together. You just need intention. So number 2, it's gonna be regulate before you react. This one is hard. Speaking from personal experience, did y'all hear how I just got triggered? You have to learn how to regulate your emotions in the everyday world. This is hard because life is so unpredictable and we never know what will occur. So first, you have to be aware of the state your nervous system is in. This is the most important step of regulating your emotions. You have to be aware of the state your nervous system is in. My nervous system, baby, my nervous system was shot while I was with Italian Jets. And y'all know who Italian Jet is for the sake of the podcast. I was so used to being in survival mode and bracing for the next argument so much that I had no emotional control. And that shit is not good for you. It's not good for your nervous system. And so I was always pissed off. I was annoyed. I resented him. I resented myself for dealing with him. I was on edge and my attitude fucking sucked. So when we broke up, I started to observe how my body didn't feel as heavy. Remember in episode 1, I told you I felt lighter. Like, I just felt so light and free and airy. And so for one, I was more aware of what stressed me out so that I could avoid those triggers. Your nervous system is responsible for maintaining your emotional balance and how you respond to stress. So once you learn how to recognize how your nervous system responds to different stressors, you can better manage your emotional state. I'm going to say that again. Once you learn how to recognize how your nervous system responds to different stressors, you can better manage your emotional state. Which brings me to responding versus reacting. This is specifically for my moms and people that are in relationships. How you handle stress is extremely important when dealing with children and a partner. I feel like dealing with the two go hand in hand because they both typically want or need something from you without knowing that your emotional battery is running low and that you need like 10 to 15 minutes to get your shit together. Kids will do this. They will literally see you crying or upset and ask for a snack. They don't care. And it's not because they don't care that something's wrong. They just don't know. They don't know that, like, you don't want to be bothered right now because you're upset about something. Which translate into they don't care. They want their Cheez-Its. They want their goldfish. Can you open my freezer? Y'all listen. I literally saw a TikTok video of a mom. She was full-fledged having a allergic reaction, like eyes swollen, face swollen. She looked like Elephant Man. God bless her soul. And her kid's like, "Hey, yeah, mom, can you open my goldfish or a fruit snack or whatever it was?" And she's like, "Oh, you want me to open it? Okay." Y'all, her eyes were swollen shut. She couldn't see anything. But again, kids don't know. They don't know. So you have to learn how to respond versus react. And I'm about to tell you how to do that. So responding looks like taking a second to process, gather your emotions, and then assess what you have to say. This gives you the chance to think about the next couple of sentences that are about to fly out of your mouth. Versus you just saying the first thing that pops in your head, yelling and or screaming. So you want to take some time to think about what you're about to say. Think about how you're feeling before you just let loose. Because 9 times out of 10, what's about to come out your mouth is not nice. And you don't need to put that on your children. Because you'll feel bad afterwards. And you just got to avoid that whole situation. So just take your time and think about what you're about to say before you say it. So children don't tend to know when your emotional battery is running low. And so it's best to practice this technique of carefully responding. If you do need about 10 to 15 minutes to gather yourself, you can always say, "Hey, is what you need an emergency?" And so whether your kid answers yes or no, you say, "Okay, if not, then mommy needs some personal space." I practice with my 1-year-old, and it's funny that he's already starting to know what personal space is. And so I'm like, "Hey, mommy needs personal space because, kids they're hanging on your shirt, they're in your face, they're in your ear, and sometimes it can be overstimulating. So, just let them know, hey, mommy needs some personal space right now." And so that's for my parents with older kids. It works with my 11-year-old daughter as well. If you have small children or babies, you can always place them in a safe location like a bassinet, a crib or a playpen, or ask your partner to take them for a few minutes. I know that when both of my kids were younger, if I was here by myself and it was just getting overwhelming, and I felt myself, getting there to where I'm like, okay, I just need a second. I would put them in their bassinet and their playpen and their crib and just walk out of the room for a couple of minutes. It's okay if they cry. Place them in a safe position, in a safe place. It's okay if they cry. That's fine. They're going to do that. They're children. But take those few minutes to get yourself together, get your mind together, before you go to a place where you don't want to go. That is okay. Or if you have a partner, ask your partner, hey, can you take the baby for a few minutes so that I can, just get a break or take a nap or whatever you need to do. But ask for that so you can regroup. It's important. So practicing responding versus reacting helps you to learn to control your emotions. It helps you explore different ways to describe what you're feeling. And the same goes for your partner. If you're in a relationship, when you're feeling angry, upset, hurt, or bothered by something, it is always good to use your practice tools. So practice tools, what are they? Let me explain them to you real quick. The first one is to pause. You can try 4-4-4 square breathing. That's when you breathe in or, inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, outhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds. And you continuously do that until you center yourself, until you ground yourself. So that's your pause. Number 2 is your reflect. Name your emotion and find words to describe how you are feeling. Okay, I'm angry. Why am I angry? I'm angry because such and such and such and such. Reflect and put a name on that emotion and then find words to describe how you're feeling. Number 3, take a minute. Take 10. Take 10 if you need it. To be alone instead of arguing and calling someone something mean and nasty. Okay? Take some time to get your mind together instead of arguing or instead of saying something that you're going to regret later. These are the practice tools that you need to work on using when you're responding instead of just reacting. And it just helps you be proactive with your emotions. That's going to bring me to number 3, which is discipline is healing. Healing isn't always soft, guys. Sometimes it just looks like self-control. Control your damn self. Being disciplined and holding yourself accountable is a form of healing, my darling. It helps you create and stick to a routine. We just said this. And sticking to a routine will help you stick to what you will and won't accept. Discipline. It will help you stick to what you will and won't accept in your life moving forward. Some forms of self-discipline are going to the gym consistently, even when you don't want to. Keeping promises to yourself. Not texting what's his face back immediately or at all. No fuckboys. Budgeting and not overspending. Stop overspending on Starbucks, girl. It's not worth it. So that's just to name a few. But there is such power in discipline. You teach yourself how to treat yourself. I'm going to say that again. You teach yourself how to treat yourself. And once you treat yourself, you start teaching others how to treat you. Once you treat yourself, you start teaching others how to treat you. You start to decline and dismiss disrespect and what is not serving you. And side note, once you learn like how to be disciplined and how to stick to your guns, you just feel empowered. It is something that no one can take from you. Nobody can take that from you. You feel amazing. And so like I'll give you guys a self-reflection moment really quickly. I was vaping so hard. Oh my God, vape. I bought every time I ran out or it was burnt out, I was buying another one. And I've stopped vaping, y'all. I'm talking about that thing had me in a chokehold. I have now stopped vaping. I do not go buy one. I ride past the smoke shop. And at first it was very hard. I had urges like after I ate or when I was out or, whatever the case may be. And it feels so good to have self-control and say, no, you don't need it. It's not doing anything for you. You want healthy lungs. Like, you want to be healthier. So why are you going to go spend money on something that's going to harm you? So once you get that and it's embedded in you, nobody can take that away from you. So that brings me to number 4, which is create systems that support healing. Shit. Once you become disciplined, it's important to create systems that help you stay consistent. So some of these systems that helped me were my morning meditation and prayer, starting therapy, going to the gym and meal prepping consistently, and limiting my social media, or just going on a social media cleanse. So just to give an example of how these things helped me stay disciplined, or they helped me, period. I meal prep on Sundays. It cuts down on the guesswork of trying to figure out healthy meals during the week. It also cuts down on me making unhealthy food decisions. This makes it easier for me to hit the gym because I know that after I work out, I have a good, nutritious meal waiting for me. So that just eliminates me eating bullshit. That eliminates me like time as far as me trying to scramble and figure out what I'm going to eat. It's already in the fridge. It's already ready to go, for me to pop in the microwave and to go ahead and cook, go ahead and heat up. And so I also make I meal prep and make my meals at home as well. I'm not like doing like just going out and getting food and having it in the fridge. No, I actually prepare my own food and store it for me to eat later. So I also take 10 to 15 minutes in the morning to meditate and pray, set the tone for my day. I thank God and I ask him for guidance for the day. I ask him to help me walk in his purpose, and I ask him to bless the day. I show gratitude. I meditate on my manifestations, which are co-creating with the universe for me to have a great day. And when I'm done, I'm ready to take on the day, aka waking up my 1-year-old son. I gotta talk to God first before waking up my boy. But so that I set my tone for the day, which is a very, very, very important healing system to me. Another one is starting therapy. So I mentioned that I started therapy, and that was a personal decision I made. I was so happy with my progress that I wanted to keep it up. I wanted to continue to heal. I wanted to continue to heal my mind, my body. So I see my therapist once a week. And she's absolutely amazing. I just actually seen her this morning, y'all. Love her to pieces. So she just helps me navigate this healing journey so perfectly. She challenges me, which helps me stay ready for anything that may interfere with my peace. And I love her for that. She also gives me tips and tricks on how to find new ways to navigate. So I encourage you. There's nothing wrong with going to therapy, sis. I encourage you to go sit down and talk to somebody who can help you navigate through the things that you feel, because sometimes we can't do it all on our own, and we need somebody to be like, okay, hold on, wait a minute. Like, I heard you say this, that, and the third. Let's unpack that. So I encourage you, please, 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 please try therapy. You will love it. And then limiting social media was a personal decision. I feel like I needed to take a break from scrolling and watching what others were doing and saying. We live in a day and age where we are obsessed with others and what the next big thing is. And we want everything so quickly and are willing to do or buy anything to get there. And it's weird. I just feel like sometimes I need to find other things to fill my day. So I'm like, damn, I could be reading. I could be spending time with my kids. I could be journaling. I could be taking a walk or a run. There's so many other things you can do than mindlessly scroll on your phone. I did just start reading a new book. It's called Show Up as Her. I mentioned this podcast. It's called That Bitch is Positive podcast by Krista, aka Cece. She has a book called Show Up as Her. I advise you all to check it out on Amazon. I pick it up when I feel like I want to get on social media or when I'm bored. It actually is a great book and a great alternative to scrolling on social media, on your social. That's going to bring me to number 5. Owning your triggers. You got to own your bullshit, babe. You have to own your BS. So triggers and things that bother you are going to arise on this journey. Because as we discussed earlier, this journey isn't rainbows and sunshine. It just isn't. This is why we create systems that support our healing. This is why we just went over different ways that you can go back to when shit hits the fan. Being triggered is not so much the issue because it is what it is. It's how we respond to those triggers. We still need to hold ourselves accountable for how we act. We owe it to ourselves to own those emotions when we are feeling them. You're not 2. You're not a kid. You're not a baby. You can't just act how you want and then, oh my God, somebody did something to me. Yeah, they're going to do that. Like, you have to learn how to handle those emotions. You can't just throw a temper tantrum every time somebody pisses you off. It's important that we do not project these emotions onto other people because that isn't fair. Most of us are coming from a place where that was done to us. And so we will not be repeating the cycle of pain. You know, being triggered doesn't give you a pass to be an ass. Like I said, most of us are coming from a place where somebody was projecting their emotions onto us and being mean to us. And we didn't like how that felt. So why would I turn around and do it to somebody else? I'm going to say it again. Being triggered does not give you a pass to be an ass. Instead, we own up to what we are feeling. That is healing. That is big girl energy. Own up to what you're feeling and face it head on. Now, that's what you call power. Standing in your power. Owning your shit and saying, okay, I'm feeling away. Like, let's assess why. Like, we gotta unpack why I'm bothered about right now. I'm in the mood right now. And when you do that, you create space to communicate with yourself to grow. I'm gonna say it again. When you do that, when you face your feelings and your emotions head on and unpack that shit, you create space to communicate with yourself and to grow. And y'all know we love growth over here. We love growth on Her Healing TV. So one thing I wanted to share with you all, another reflection moment, is that I am actively healing with you guys. I'm actively healing while showing up every day, because healing isn't a one and done thing. You know, it's not something that you're like, oh, I'm healed. Like, no, it's a continuous thing. It's something that you'll have to do because you're going to get triggered. You are going to get triggered. People are going to piss you off. Your kids are going to get on your nerves. Your boss is going to piss you off. Your friend is going to say stupid shit. Like, you have to continuously continuously work on this every single day. And I remember when I was early in my journey thinking that I couldn't do this, like, oh my gosh, being a mom, going to work, being a friend, healing, growing, loving, etc. I'm like, I can't do this. You can do it. You just have to learn how to navigate it and learn what prioritize what needs to be handled first. You know what I'm saying? And so I have been where you are, and I'm telling you, it's possible. Consistency is key. I continue to show up for myself every single day. I show up for myself every single day. I continue to love myself. I continue to pray. So I'm a woman speaking from experience, and I'm here to help you come out on the other side. You are loved here. You are loved here. This is a safe space. And so I get it. I understand. And I really want you ladies to know that from the heart. Not even just ladies. If you're a man, listen to this podcast, fine by me. If you're an alien, listen to this podcast, fine by me. But I really want you all to know that I love you because I was where you were. I came from where you are. And just know that there's growth and healing and love and light on the other side. Thank you for joining me today. Here I guide women through discipline, self-development, meditation, and emotional regulation to create lasting transformation. By blending feminine softness with structured ambition, I teach women how to build divine bodies, regulated minds, and elevated standards. This is not chaotic growth. This is intentional evolution. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a woman who's also in her transformation era. And remember, healing, growth, and power can exist at the same time. Until next time, stay intentional, stay disciplined, do no harm, take no shit.